then I stopped and paused. My eyes crawled to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Roll dice and woes of life. Love deprived, look at her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise. Crystal chandeliers, motives reflected. Often mirrors a pit, clear, grinning from ear to ear. Craving the raiment and grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, we know what our work is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you conceive. Are you my...
Yes, it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. I'm your host, Matt Clark, and today it is Monday, the 24th. I do believe today is the 24th. Sorry, I'm trying to finish this up real quick. The Thunder last night took care of business, improving to 46-10, and I will say this last night. What's up, Burgess? How you doing? What's going on? What did you miss last night? We're going to go over what you missed last night on After the Storm, because surprised you weren't there. I know it was a little late for the show last night, but tonight it'll be a little earlier. We'll be on probably at 10-ish tonight. Anyway, the Thunder, of course, took care of business last night, 130 to 123 over the Timberwolves. And what I thought was interesting is the way that the Timberwolves attacked the Thunder. Now, at the beginning of this game, remember we lost to them the last game before the All-Star break. And what we had talked about after the storm, after the show, was that night is that how SGA came out kind of, blah, 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 and Ant-Man came out fierce. And that helped all their young kids because no DiVincenzo, no Randall, no Connolly, and no Gobert. And how these young kids came out, especially Shannon, they just beat the brakes off of us, okay? And it's simply because of the way we started. And then last night, it almost started the same way as where SGA came out kind of lackadaisical in his way, had 2 turnovers early that were uncharacteristic. I mean, it looked like he was really not necessarily into it. And you could just tell that that they just went right at us. But this is the difference. He changed real quick in his mentality. And then once again, as we've been talking about on this show and on After the Storm, when J-Dub goes to the bench, we make a run. So it was 21-15 with 4:37 to go when he put J-Dub on the bench. You had SGA, Chet, Wiggins, Caruso, and Kaysen. And what ended up happening? Score at the end of the quarter, 39-23. 39-23. Now, what the Thunder are is the best defensive team in the league on a historic pace. And the one thing we've talked about many times is defense travels. But then also what you have to do is be able to, when a team makes a move, you have to be able to adjust. Now in the second quarter, the Thunder are up 35-23. So they're up 12. J-Dub went to bench, we were up 6. We improved the lead. We shot 72% from the field. Second quarter, you had J-Dub, Kaysen, Isaiah Joe, Wiggins, and Ihart. I like the lineup. Now, what they did is that I wasn't expecting, and I don't think a lot of people were expecting, what they did is they double-teamed J-Dub. And then they started putting pressure on our guys. And without A.J. Mitchell and Burgess, our guy Hotspot Casino on After the Storm in our chat, he was a big A.J. Mitchell fan. And I'm like, yeah, A.J. Mitchell, I don't know. But A.J. Mitchell is the dude when it comes to handling the ball. He takes all the pressure off of J-Dub. Now, that being said, they started coming on a run. They came at us. They really did. We were turning the ball over. We were making plays that aren't necessarily characteristic of what our Oklahoma City Thunder players do or our team does, and they got in a roll. In every single game, and we've talked about this on After the Storm, the games that we've lost when? In the second quarter. that's when we lose games because he sits SGA way too long. He just does. He's going to sit him long, and the teams are going to take advantage of it. Now, the difference is last night, uh, they started coming at us, and once again, he puts SJ, they put Ant Man in at the 6 minute mark. SJ don't come in to the 5 minute mark. He's, as our guy Mark Long of SRB says, he calls him 2 minutes too long. That's what he's called him for 3 years now, and he's still the same guy. He's 2 minutes too long because he wants to play J-Dub and put J-Dub on the same level as our second guy. And we've talked about this before. It's SGA, Chet, then J-Dub. Now we're trying to bring in Wiggins as our third guy. And my problem with that is, why the hell didn't you do that 2 years ago? I'm screaming for it. Our man, the commander, Randy Wright, is screaming for it. We've talked about this. Nathan was screaming for it. Mark Long, anybody I could talk to, anybody I knew was screaming, why the hell aren't we playing Wiggins more? Now, all of a sudden, you're playing him a lot more, and because we did not make the trade for Cam Johnson, which I'm not giving up topic. Sorry. I'm going to give you picks because we got enough picks to whatever. But I'm not giving up topic. I'm not giving up somebody who can be a poor man's SGA when SGA is on the bench that can help and hold the ball, and then J-Dub is back where he is when he's with SGA. He is a guy that plays off the ball, and he makes moves, and he's very efficient that way. But when you try to make him a ball handler where he's taking care of the ball and he's doing all this, he doesn't have the ball handling skills, nor does he have the ability to make those plays currently. Now, he may grow into that because this is his third year, and so you're going to start understanding the game and you're understanding what you should do and what plays to be made. So eventually that does catch on, but he is not there yet. And in the second quarter, they made a run, and when you put SGA in the game, it was 52-37 and 6 minutes to go. Okay? And when I look at that, I'm going, okay, we had SGA, Kaysen, Dort, Isaiah Joe, and Ihart. That's a nice lineup. They got on a roll. We had them down 19 at one point, and they start hitting threes and they get on a roll. And every game that we've lost, the 3 times to the Mavericks, the 2 times to the Golden State Warriors, the time we got beat by San Antonio, every single game that we lose of these 10 games, 7 or 8 of them, at least 7, probably more like 8, I can contribute to the second quarter. That is the bugaboo for the Thunder. That's when you make a run. At the end of the first quarter, you pull J-Dub, we make a run every single time. Take a lead going in the second quarter, or 90% of the time. Then the group that you start in the second quarter, since A.J. Mitchell's been out, forcing J-Dub and Kaysen and Isaiah Joe. And Isaiah Joe's not a ball handler. Kaysen's really not a ball handler. Wiggins definitely not a ball handler, and neither is J-Dub. So you took A.J. Mitchell out of there as your ball handler in the second quarter, which hurts the Thunder. Now, when you get Topic back next year, that's not going to bother you at all. If he is what he was projected to be, we shall see. Okay? If he is projected to be what he's supposed to be. If he's 90% of what he is, then okay. SGA goes to the bench. You're not going to be -3 like you are now. When SGA is not in the game, we're a completely different team. I've said this over and over and over, and no matter how much the Thunder tries to mask it, no matter how many things they try to throw out there, the bottom line is if SGA is on the bench, we are not the same team. They made a run, and they've been on a 30-9 run. That's what they did. 30-9 run in the second quarter. They scored 40 points on us. I don't remember the last time we gave up 40 points in a quarter. I don't remember it. But that's what they did to us last night. My guy John Ward, what's up, John? For the season until we get AJ back, who should be our primary ball handler while SGA is on the bench? Well, we don't really have one, John. That's what I was just saying. I mean, you the lineup you had Kaysen. He's okay. You have J-Dub. He's really not. You have Isaiah Joe. That's a no. And you have Wiggins. So who is going to be your primary ball handler? You really don't have one. And then what they did is by double teaming J-Dub last night, they took the ball out of his hands to make him try to make plays. And then now the question is this, and we talked about this on After the Storm last night. When SGA is throwing to Ihart, or he's passing the ball to Caruso when the double team comes, if they're your primary guy to execute the offense on the 4-on-3, which is what it is, they've got 4 guys They've got 3 guys, we have 4. Josh Giddey was fantastic at this particular spot. Whenever teams would double team us, we make them pay dearly for doing that. You double team SGA, Josh gets the ball, he either shoots a teardrop, he shoots a floater, or he makes the correct pass to somebody cut to the basket or knock it down a 3. Every single time. And teams couldn't really double team us with Josh. So that's part of it. But John Caruso is really not a ball handler either, bro. He really isn't. That's the problem. A.J. Mitchell was the ball handler. And as I talked about at the beginning, I was like, A.J. Mitchell, whoa, okay, he is a true point guard. And when him and SGA play together, he had to learn, okay, I don't need to have the ball in my hands. The ball goes in SGA's hands. Then I play off of what SGA does. That's what he had to learn how to become. And I think he did a good job of that. So that's part of that. John says, but that would mean having to stagger him and SGA. Well, he's a bench player. So when the second quarter starts, you start AJ Mitchell in the second quarter and the fourth quarter, and that's what you do. So that's not hard to do, John. But what I want is, and when this team rolls, is when you have SGA, Kaysen, Caruso, either Dort or Wiggins. Either one I'm good with Chet or Ihart. Okay, that's when our team does. Now tonight, with Chet being out, not being able to play back to back, then you've got Jay Will, and hopefully it's a home game, and Jay Will be fine. And people, please do not boo Jay Will. When we were at the game, they're booing Jay Will. That was just ridiculous. AJ Mitchell is coming back. His 12 weeks is April the 4th. John had to go back and look at that. So he'll be back April the 4th is when AJ will be back. So anyway, third quarter comes. We go on a run once again. J-Dub goes to the bench. We go on an 8-2 run with him on the bench to take a 196 lead. It was, when you took him out, it was 78. It was 81 to, not 81. It was 92 to 94 when he went out. And we go on an 8-2 run. We score 42 points in the third quarter. Fourth quarter comes, once again, J-Dub, Wiggins, Ihart, Joe, Kaysen. I don't have a problem with that lineup. I'm thinking, wow, we should be able to do something. That's a nice lineup. But what ended up happening was they went boom, 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 hit us in the mouth. So you bring SGA back in the game. They go on a 14-2 run, 14-3 run. And you bring SGA back in at 7-minute mark, which he never does. But once again, when you feel the run coming, bring it back at the 8-minute mark. What's an extra minute? Us going down from 105 to 110. And as soon as he comes in the game, boom. As soon as he comes in the game, the completely flow of what we were trying to do changed. Complete change. Once he went in the game, we went, boom, here comes a 3. He assisted on. Boom, here comes another 3. All of a sudden, we got a 111, 110 lead in, a minute? So no matter how much the Thunder want J-Dub to be the guy, they left him on the court the whole time in the fourth quarter, which he always does. And my point is this. There's no way you don't have the metrics to know that when J-Dub goes to the bench and you have SGA, Kaysen, Caruso, Dort, or Wiggins with Chet or Ihart, that you don't make a run. Because every time we've won a game, you make a run with him on the bench. So like I said in Game 6 last year, dude, put him on the bench for 2 minutes. Take him out for 2 minutes and bring him back in. Take him out for 2 minutes. But the coach is not going to do that. They're going to keep him in the game, knowing that every metric, anything you can look at, we make runs when he is on the bench. Why? Number one, SGA is the ball handler. He don't have to pass the ball because the coach wants him to give J-Dub. Number two, everybody understands their role. Number three, when SGA is rolling, it releases everybody to just relax and play. They're not forced or feel like they've got to make a play. It's like Wiggins last night going down on a 3-on-1, 2-on-1 break, goes behind his back and loses the ball. Him and J-Dub, they cannot go behind. They don't have that skill set. They don't. But my thing is this, Coach. Why weren't you trying to develop Wiggins 2 years ago? Well, we're all screaming for him to play. Now you're going to wait till we're not going to get Cam Johnson? And the difference is, if you have a 6'9" Cam Johnson, this Thunder team will win the playoffs. no matter what our coach does. Burgess. AJ is expected to return around the first week of April. That's what I said, Burgess. April the 4th is the 12-week mark. They're gonna evaluate him week 10, which is the third middle of next month, and then week 12, which I'm thinking he'll bring you back in week 12. That is April the 4th. So that's what I said, Burgess. So anyway, that's where we're at with that. Now, when you go back and you look at the stats last night from the game, uh, and by the way, before that, we played them back to back tonight. Okay, I don't know what the hell is that. Let me fix that, guys, real quick. What the hell was that? I don't know what Thunder game today. I have under. I can't even spell Thunder. Oh, I must have cut it off. That's what I must have done. Thunder 40. I don't know how the hell we are 12-point favorites, guys. I'm fixing this for you real quick. Sorry about that. I don't know how we are. I don't understand that at all. I don't get. When I was looking at that, I'm like 12 point. Wait, what? And Chet's not playing. So when I looked at that, I'm like, Chet's not playing. How are we? How are we 12-point favorites and Chet's not playing? Now it is on the road, and once again, Gobert's not playing. I don't think Gobert's playing. Uh, I forget how that. I know that Randall's not playing. So I know that that's part of it, but still, that drives me crazy. Let me fix that real quick. Sorry, guys. Okay, now I got that fixed. So, 12-point favorites, 227. I don't know what the hell is wrong with me today. I can't get shit done right today. I don't know what my problem is. But anyway, we're going to move on after this anyway. So, anyway. But anyway, the game stats last night and the score. The Thunder, 46 and 10. They are 31 and 27. We won by 7. T Wolves. And remember, it was 105, 110 when SGA came in the game. Okay? And we outscored them 25 to 13 to close out the game in the quarter. T Wolves 18 for 45 from three. Thunder 18 for 36, 18 for 35. 43.8% for field goal percentage. Thunder 55.8. 44 rebounds to our 37. Once again, we got out rebounded. We gave up 15 offensive rebounds. 15 offensive rebounds. That's just you can't. That's just unexpected. I mean, unacceptable. You can't give up that many. You really can't. But that's what kept them in the game. That's what kept them. And when you shoot 72% and you're only up 12, that's not acceptable at all. John, to answer your question, I believe the playoffs start. I think it's April the 17th or 18th or something like that. That's when the playoffs start. 17th or 18th or somewhere around there. Pips points in the paint. Of course, we had 46 of their 32, which is crazy because they had 15 offensive rebounds. But all they did was rebound and kick the ball out. And then, of course, only 13 turnovers. They took care of the basketball. We did as well, like we always do. And then, of course, we outscored their bench. And they have the highest scoring bench in the league. Okay? And we outscored them. Why? Because they have a bunch of rookies that are now playing more starter minutes. So that made a huge, huge difference in what actually happened, which, that's going to have to change at some point when you look at it. And then, of course, here are the overall stats from the game. I don't know why that's messing up like that, guys. What is going on with my stuff? On After the Storm is all perfect. I guess I need to check this from now on, and I will. Chet, 19 points, only 4 rebounds, 1 assist, but 3 blocks. Huge blocks. 8 for 11 from the field, 3 for 4 from home. And like once again, Chet is from the Minneapolis area, so that made a difference. J-Dub, 6 for 14, 3 for 5 from 3, 18 points. He played decent. He played okay. I got a little frustrated with him trying to make plays and stuff. On his reverse, he didn't even come close. He does reverse. He don't draw iron. I'm like, bro. And that's because he's trying to do stuff that he is not capable of doing currently. Now, next year and the next year, will he be able to make some of those moves that he's trying to do now? 100%. But right now, he's trying to do things that he doesn't have the ability to do, which is frustrating. Ihart 12 rebounds, 12 points, 9 rebounds. Ihart played good. And by the way, Thunder people, there's no such thing as a push shot. It is called a floater. We have the most uninformed, not knowledgeable staff that there is. You guys know what the hell it is. There's no such word as a push shot. Quit trying to uh, say something that's not there. Nobody calls it a push shot. Not the TNT announcers, not the NBA announcers. If you're going to be professional, be effing professional. It's a floater. Call it what it is. It's a teardrop. Call it what it is. It's a reverse. Call it what it is. It's a finger roll. Call it what it is. You guys are terrible. You are the Thunder, the number one team in the league, and you don't know what the hell your shots you're calling. It's pathetic. That's embarrassing. It really is. And I'm going to harp on them until they freaking stop. Quit trying to be all cool like you're trying to make up something. No, you look stupid. 37 points for SGA in 38 minutes. Yeah, I said that. 37 points in 38 minutes. 13 for 24, 3 for 6 from 3, 8 for 11, which he's got to improve on that. 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks. Let me repeat that line. 37 points in 38 minutes, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks. K. Rich only played 3 minutes. Didn't play that well, and to me, you can't really go small against them. The lineup is terrible. The way that I understand when we did it and it was okay, but it's hard to go small lineup with them, and that's why K. Rich did not play as many minutes. Caruso, 11 points, 24 minutes. He's fantastic. Love him. Love me some Caruso. Isaiah Joe, 11 minutes. He hurts us. That's part of it and how it works. Aaron Wiggins, 19 minutes. Aaron played okay. 15 points in 19 minutes. That's very, very efficient. And, of course, Cason Wallace, 22 minutes, 6 points. I thought Cason played really well. 2 for 5, 1 for 4, and a big 3, the one that he hit because of when he did it. That made all the difference. Okay? Now, this plus-minus stuff is ridiculous. Caruso plus 17, SGA plus 16. Both of them played really well, I thought, overall, with what they were trying to do. Okay, in the next 10 games, which is what we do 10 games at a time. By the way, thank you, Burgess. April 14th through the 14th to 16th. That's actually the play-in games. That's not the actual playoffs. So those are the play-in games. Anyway, the Thunder are now 3-1. We've won 9 of our last 10. And I don't know if this is a pivotal game tonight because it is back-to-back. Chet's not playing because he's not playing back-to-backs. And we are at home. So, Chet is from Minnesota, Minneapolis area. So that's why he played there in Minnesota. And he's not playing tonight. So that's going to affect us to some point, to some degree. But that means that Dort is going to have to step up and make threes. That means that Wiggins is going to have to make threes. That means that Casey is going to have to make threes. That means that Caruso is going to have to make threes. That means that K. Rich, when he plays, he's going to have to knock down threes. That means when Jay Will, who's going to probably be the other guy in, he's going to have to make shots. And fans, please don't boo him. As we talked about, don't boo him. Okay? So, here are the Thunders, like I said, the next 6 games. Okay? T-Wolves at home. And we talked about, we have 3 50-50 games left. We had 4. Right now we're 1-0. And we talked about that we need to go 2-2 or 3-1 in these 50-50 games. Now, what are 50-50 games? 50-50 games are when you're equally balanced. So we play the T-Wolves twice, which is 50-50. We play the Rockets as a 50-50. And with the Grizzlies as a 50-50. Okay? So we won the first one. Here's the second night. So if we should win at home and protect our home court. Okay, that's number one. You've got to be able to win at home court. Protect the home base. That's what you got to be able to do. Then we go to the Nets on Wednesday. Then we have the Hawks in Atlanta on Friday. And then March 2nd, we have at the Spurs with no Wemby. Now, remember the last time they didn't have their top 3 scorers, our coach wetted the bed because remember, at one point, He had Dylan Jones. He had A.J. Mitchell. I believe it was A.J. Mitchell. He had Jang. He had Wiggins and K. Rich all on the floor at one time. I was like, what the hell are you doing? Oh my God. He oh, it's unbelievable. Him. But anyway, so when you look at our next 6 games, we should go 5-1, 4-2 at worst. We cannot go 3-3. We need to go 4-2 in our next 6 games. 5-1 would be fantastic. So you beat the Wolves at home and you hold home serve, and then you send a message to them because right now it's 2-1. We played them 4 times. We beat them here when they had 20 whatever turnovers and they were leading the second quarter, and we just beat the brakes off of them because of turnovers in the second quarter. They beat us right before the All-Star break. And then we've come back and we beat them. The February 13th, they beat us. And then we came back and beat them in Minnesota last night. So this will be our 4th time playing them, and we have a 2-1 advantage. So let's close them out 3-1. Let's go to the Nets and handle business again. We've already beat them here. Let's go to the Nets and handle our business there. Then we turn around and we go to play the Hawks. The Hawks, let's handle our business there. Spurs, with De'Aaron Fox, it's still going to be a handful, but if the coach does what he's supposed to do, we should handle that. Then we have a back-to-back night where we go from San Antonio to Houston, and March 3rd is a Friday. Okay. I believe it's a Friday because I know that I was planning, maybe it was April that I was planning on going to, yeah, it was April I was planning on going there. That's when I was going. So March 3rd is a Monday, and that game is here. So I'll probably be going to that game. Hopefully, if the Commander's going to have give me tickets for that, so I'll be able to go to that game and be able to do that. Because, like I've said before, when you're watching games in person versus watching them on TV, it's a completely different thing. Because one, I don't have to listen to the stupid things that they say from FanDuel. I don't have to listen to the nonsense, so I can visually see things myself. Number 2, I've got the commander there with me, so we say things, we bounce things off of each other's, which makes it easier for me when I go afterwards and do the show because the live stream, because he gives me, so he always throws a little nugget here and there that I didn't see, so that helps me later on when I come do the live stream, the after game score or show, because it helps me because I see, okay, this is what he's saying, this is what we're doing, blah, blah, blah. So it makes it easier for me to do that because I have someone who's very knowledgeable and we can bounce stuff off. And plus, like I said, he does give me nuggets. So that's why I enjoy going to the games because I get to see what's going on. I don't have to hear and I don't get to watch the TV and hope they give me a replay because you get the replay usually up on the screen. But I get to watch the game myself and see what happens while the game is actually occurring. So I prefer to go to the games to do the show, take my notes and things like that because it makes it easier for me to do what I need to do. So those are what we have coming up. Okay, now we're going to take a quick break and we'll come back and then we're going to do the standings so we can kind of talk about Burgess and John, who we're going to play, who we possibly can play in the playoffs and how that's going to work. We'll take this opportunity to thank our sponsors. SRB, if you have needs for engineering, surveying, and planning, hit those guys up. They'd love to be able to take care of you. You have a water treatment plant in your city or county, they can make sure they can come in and make sure you have clean drinking water because we've always said, who the hell does not like clean drinking water? And, of course, Oak Grove Trucking, if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hit my guy up. Love to be able to take care of you over there at Oak Grove Trucking. And then, of course, YNB, which we will be there this week to do our monthly show there from YNB. Family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the OKC area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or you can go into one of their 5 locations. The main bank at 401 Elm, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YNB East, which is off the Parkway and 66 at 39th Expressway. YNB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YNB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks and I-40, just south of I-40 there. Can't miss it. And then, of course, YB People's located in Bethany on 23rd between Rockwell and MacArthur. And, of course, Elm Grove Clothing. If you ever watched, NBA Today and you're watching Big Perk, Kendrick Perkins' dress, because of this man right here. He's got him looking fantastic, and we love what Jonathan is doing for them. I mean, Binky's making him look good. 405-332-8787. Why spend $5, $6, $7,000 for a suit when you can spend 800 to 1,000 and get the same quality? So I love my suit. In fact, he had made a suit for me that's fantastic, and I enjoy it. So now to the standings. Okay, here are the standings currently. Okay, the Thunder 46-10, winners of our last two, 9 of our last 10, by the way. And then you've got the Grizzlies and the Nuggets tied for second place. And the Nuggets just got smashed by the Lakers. And everybody talks about, oh, well, now everybody's high on the Lakers because of Luka and all that. That's fine. But let's face one thing. The Nuggets own the Lakers for the most part. Now, what I do agree with what the Lakers did, and I think it's cool what they did, they double-teamed and they went at Jokic, and, Jokic was not ready for the defense that they did against them, and they beat him. Now, to do that 4 times in a 7-game series, I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. You can't. The Lakers don't have. You have LeBron, yes, and you have Luka, yes. And they're talking about Austin Reeves. All you got to do is attack Austin Reeves. Every time. He can't guard anybody. They know that. They attack him. Now, is he a good number 3 for them? He's okay. But he's there because of LeBron. Now, has he fully taken advantage of his opportunity? 100%. But y'all look at Austin Reeves is a great player. I think Austin Reeves is an average player. He wouldn't even be playing for the Thunder. I can promise you that. But anyway, the Nuggets, so the Lakers beat them. Now, the Lakers are 2.5 games back. 34-21. Luka and LeBron are trying to figure out how to play with each other 100%. Then you have the Rockets, lost 2. And when you look at these teams, okay, and when you look at their records, and you look at what have they done in their last 10 games, when you talk about what the teams have done as far as wins and losses, okay? The Thunder, 9 out of their last 10. The Grizzlies, 6 out of their last 10. The Nuggets, 9 out of their last 10. The Lakers, 8 out of their last 10. Then you have the Rockets, 3 out of their last 10. Clippers, 5 out of their last 10. Timberwolves, 4 out of their last 10. Mavericks, 5 out of their last 10. Warriors, 6 out of their last 10. Now, the Warriors are 5-1 since Jimmy Butler came. Since Jimmy Butler got there, they are 5-1. But when I look at this, I don't see anything that I just go, oh, I'm so afraid. Now, the thing is this, the Thunder are the number 1 seed currently. So we will play the 7th, 8th, 9th, or 10th, one of those seeds. Okay, that's who we play. The worst, whoever is the worst out of that group. That's who we'll play. Now, we talked about this last night on After the Storm. Nobody really wants to see, I don't want to see the T-Wolves 4 out of 7. I don't want to see them. The Mavs are going to be healthy, and everybody's got to remember that. The Mavs are going to be healthy, guys. And if that doesn't scare you, something's wrong with you. You need to be afraid of that. The Mavs healthy is going to be something you really got to, so it's something that you really got to worry about, okay? You really got to worry about the Mavs. Because when AD comes back and Gafford comes back, what they basically did is the Mavericks took what the Thunder have done. You have a big, then you have a 4. Now, is Chet better than AD? No, not yet. But defensively, they're close. Okay? So that's what you basically have right now. You have that group coming at each other. So they scare me because of that. Because they match us 4 and 5. And then they have those 3 guys out front with the addition of Christie. So that's going to really worry me when it comes to them. Now, the Warriors with Jimmy Butler, they're not going to beat us. I don't see them be able to beat us 4 times. I don't see that. The Mavs, possibly. But I don't see the Warriors beating us 5 times or 4 times. The Kings, I don't worry about them at all. I don't really see them in there. The way I see it is if it ended today, we would be playing the Mavs in the first round. I'd rather have the Kings in the first round. Okay? I'd rather have the Warriors in the first round. And then, of course, the second round, we would play who? Because the Grizzlies would then play the T-Wolves, let's say. The Nuggets would play the Clippers. And the Lakers and Rockets would go at it. and then we would play the winner of the Lakers and Rockets, and then the Grizzlies and Nugget winners would play each other. So if it stood the way it's, let's just say it stands the way it is now. So we'd play the Lakers, which everybody thinks, oh, Luka, and I ain't afraid of the Lakers. Because this is the deal. Lakers they don't play good enough defense. Are they long? Yes. But now remember, we're 2-0 now that what are we? Yeah, 2-0 or 2-1 well actually now we're 2-0 full strength. We've only played 2 games full strength. Okay? 2. 2 games full strength. What does that say for the Thunder? What that tells me is that's SGA, that's J-Dub, that's Dort, that's iHeart, that's Chet, that's Caruso, that's Kaysen, that's Wiggins, okay? That's what that is. And Isaiah Joe. That's your 9. So now we are full strength coming at people. Full strength coming at people. Am I worried? Hell no, I'm not worried. Should everybody else be worried? Hell yes, they should be worried, but I'm not worried. Why? Because the Thunder are going to get better. And we talked about this. There were 28 games left after the All-Star break. We're 2-0. And Nathan Taylor and I, we talked about this. We said that the Thunder needed to go 21-7, 22-6, somewhere around there to really show what we're really made of in these last 28 games. John says, John Warren, I want to play the Lakers just so LeBron is forced to actually play in OKC. We've talked about that many times. Like, he cheats the game. He doesn't cheat. Yes, he does. LeBron is very calculated. What LeBron has set out to do, because he's extremely smart, he goes, I'm going to play enough games because I'm going to play the playoffs every year, so I'm going to end up playing more games. But during the season, I'm not going to play games on the road. He plays them at home. And to me, it's like this. Bro, if you're going to load manage one of the 41 games at home. Don't load manage one of the 41 games away. Because here's a kid that's in Oklahoma City or Houston or Salt Lake City or New York or wherever, that his only time to ever see his favorite player, which would be you, LeBron, you don't play. Now, it's calculated, and people can say what they want to. He's a very smart and businessman, 100%. Why do you think he went to L.A.? So he could become a billionaire. He wasn't going to be a billionaire in Cleveland. Not enough jobs, not enough opportunities for him. But L.A. there was, and that's how he got all of his money. He moved to L.A. to do those things. And I've always said, the greatest player of all time is Jordan, the most skilled player is Kobe, and the best all around is LeBron, who took the spot of Magic. That's how I put him. He is a more athletic Magic. They're both the same height, but he's more athletic. Does he make some shots and stuff? Yes. Passes, Magic, LeBron doesn't make passes like Magic. No way. Now, does he see the floor? Is he very brilliant? Yes. But he's a more athletic Magic. That's how I look at LeBron. That's how I place him. Now, do I put him in front of Magic in the all-time pantheon? No. I have Magic. I have LeBron. I have Michael. I have Kareem. I have Magic. I have Kobe. I have Wilt. I have LeBron. I have Larry Bird. I have Dr. J. I have Bill Russell. And I have Tim Duncan, who's going to be replaced by Kevin Durant. So that is my pantheon of my group. LeBron is not in my top 5. Why? Because you choked during the most important time of your career, of your sports time. That's in the playoffs. That can't be ignored. You disappeared in the finals. Nowhere to be found. You can't be the greatest of all time when you disappear in your sport's biggest moment. You disappeared. Not once, not twice. Twice. And remember, everybody forgets. If you're 4 wins, you beat Miami because Popovich took out Tim Duncan. They didn't get the rebound, and Ray Allen hit a jump shot to send in overtime. Remember, you turned the ball over and missed a brick and take it back-to-back possession. So come on now. Or not back, maybe not back to back, but you had 2 plays out of 3 that you were nowhere to be found in Game 5. That's what happened against the Golden State Warriors when they had the best record in history. They had smoked you guys, and Draymond Green, being Draymond Green, cost the Warriors the finals because then you came back and Kyrie, not some of you, but really Kyrie, at 6 and 7 was the difference. But y'all should have got smoked in 5. That's how you came back 3-1. So when I look at all that, I ain't trying to hear all that nonsense about him. So I'm not worried about him, John. But who I am worried about, I'm worried about the Timberwolves. I'm worried about the Mavericks because of who the Mavericks, what they traded when done. Now, did the Mavericks sacrifice their future? 100% they did for these next couple years because they realized in order to beat the Thunder, what do I have to have? I have to have a big to combat Hartenstein and Chet, so I have 2 bigs. I've got to have a front line who could defend Chet, who could defend Shea, and what we did to them with Luka. Because remember Luka went from Dort to Kaysen to Caruso. He had no chance. So they basically are doing the same thing, improving their front line to wear down SGA. That's what they're doing. But what that means is, but the difference between Luka and SGA is SGA gonna do whatever the hell he wants anyway because he's in shape. Luka's not. Number 2, now with what we have with Wiggins knocking down threes, with Caruso coming along, with Kaysen coming up, with J-Dub just playing his secondary role. Now with Chet back. Defensively, we're long. And I saw a stat the other night, okay, or yesterday, which I said on the show last night, and I'll give you guys these stats, which is just, this is mind-boggling to me, okay, people? Defensive rating, we're number 1. Offensive points per game, we're number 1. We're talking about defending the opposing teams, giving up points. Opponent's field goal percentage, 43%, number 1. 3-point percentage, 33%, number 1. Opponent's turnovers, 18.1, we're number 1. Pips, points in the paint, 42.9, number 1. These are the reasons that we're winning. And I'm going to pull this up for you guys so you can see our complete defensive stat sheet, how we are, okay? Which you're going to go, you kind of like me, I'm going, what the hell? Okay, where is it? Let me see. I'm sorry, I just got this text message, and I'm trying to do the show. Let me see. Where's my Thunder stuff? It's gone. Where is it? Okay, let me do our shooting percentage, and then I'll go from there. Okay, here we go. Team stats. I already gave you that. Free throw percentage, we're number 1 in making free throws. Assist, we're top 5, 24.2. That means the opposing team doesn't make assists and score a lot against us. 24.2. Steals, we're number 1, 10.9. But we're number 1 in taking care of the basketball. We only give up 6 steals a game. We average 11.7 turnovers a game. 6 of those are steals. Okay? Now, here's the crazy stat for you. We turn the opposing team over 17.7 turnovers a game. 10.9 of those are steals. And then the other 5 are what? Blocks. And we get the ball. Think about that for a minute. Of our 17 turnovers that we force other teams in, 10 of those are steals, almost 11. But once again, the second quarter, this is a misleading stat because it says 27.1 opponent's field goal percentage in the second quarter. That's misleading a little bit because that's when we lose games, is then, okay? That's when we lose games. So when you look at our complete team and our scoring average and what we do as a team, this is where these are updated as of today, okay? SGA, 32.3 points per game, leading the NBA, shooting 52% from the field again. 35% from three. He's down a little bit. 89.5% from the 3-point line or free throw line. Got to make. Come on now. J-Dub 20.9 points per game. 47% from the field. 35% from three. 77% from the line. Chet 15.3. 50% from the field. 39% from three. 75% from the line. Hardenstein, iHeart, 11.1 points per game, 56% from the field on his floaters, 9% of them either floaters or dunks. And then here's the stat that scares me. 64.6% from the free throw line. That stat right there scares me. And somebody was like, why does that scare you? I go, because at the end of the game, we got to have him on the court. And if they're going to foul him, and he's a free throw liability, that's going to hurt us. Because remember, in the playoffs, you get less possessions. Wiggins, 11 points a game, 49% from the field, 39% from three. What I want Wiggins is catching and shooting. Great at free throw line, don't bother me at all. Dort, 9.8, 43% from the field, 40% from the line. Like that. Isaiah Joe, 9.6 points per game, 43% from the field, 39%. I need that more like 45% from three, okay? Kaysen, 7.5 points per game, 44% from the field, 33%, and that looks low. But everybody forgets Kaysen was way down, and now he's back up, okay? So that's the difference right now when you're looking at that. And then, of course, Caruso, 6.2 points a game, 41% from the field, 34% from the line. From the 3-point line, which is going up. So it seems like that we're not doing that well. And, of course, K-Rich and J-Will are both right in there at 5.9 and 5.3. But like everybody looks at the stats, Caruso 34 points, Kaysen 33. But what people don't understand is where they were. People don't remember where they were. Okay? People don't remember where they were. Their stats are going up. Okay? They look low, but they're going up compared to where they started at. I think Casey started at 12%, and Caruso was right about the same. So it takes longer. The more games you play, it takes longer for your stats to improve. But Caruso last night, 2 for 5. Or 3 for 5. He missed his first 2, made his last 3. Why? Because SJ was rolling. And as I've said 1,000 times, when SGA is rolling and he's making shots, then everybody else relaxes. They don't have to try to make plays. All they got to do is just finish what they're starting. Catch the ball in transition or in motion. I catch the ball, boom, I go up. I have to worry about it. Why? It's nice fluid motion. I don't have to worry about trying to create off a dribble. I don't have to worry about taking somebody one-on-one. I don't have to worry about that. All I do is catch and shoot. In rhythm. Catch and shoot in rhythm. That's all I got to worry about. That is the difference when he's on the floor versus when he isn't, which is why we're plus 15, 16 with him on the floor and minus 3 when he's not. But the crazy stat that we talked about last night, SGA has missed 14 fourth quarters. Think about that for a minute. Of our 46 wins, 14 of them he did not play in the fourth quarter. Hold on to that for a minute. 14 games of the 46 victories, he did not play the fourth quarter. And I think also we've had 15 games where I forget what it was that Nathan told me, but it was like last night on the show, something like 15 games that we have had double-digit wins or something crazy that it was not even, it's ridiculous. The Thunder's defense is on a historic pace. And defense travels, whether it's the NBA, whether it's football, national in the NFL, whether it's Major League Baseball, whether it's soccer, whether it's hockey. It's irrelevant. Defense carries. The Thunder's defense is on a historic pace. My only question is, with the coach, can he get over trying to play J-Dub as much as he does and understand when he goes to the bench, we make a run? So So if you're sitting for 2 minutes in the fourth quarter, okay, you're sitting for a couple minutes and put him back in there. It's fine if you do that. You don't have to worry about it. Those are things that you can do uh, that you can do that will make the difference. Second quarter has been our bugaboo. What are you doing differently in the second quarter? Don't sit SJ for 7 minutes. Sit him for 5. When you feel that flow coming, you feel the run coming, like last night, don't sit him for that extra minute. You feel the flow come, timeout, come, let's go, like he did in the fourth quarter. They went on a 14-2 run, timeout, 8 minutes, put SJ in. Okay, he plays 38 minutes. Like my friend said, Jennifer says, okay, he's 26 years old and he's making hundreds of millions of dollars. He can play. And the second thing is SJ's in shape. There's other ways that you can rest him. He's played 14 games. He has not played the fourth quarter. Let that sink in. 14 games, guys. 14. That tells you who the Thunder can be. Now, what worries me, and I've said this over and over and over, his minutes managing, talking about Dagnall, is the thing that scares me. If we're going to win, he's got to get over managing minutes. He's got to understand if we're to win a chip, it's really, really simple. When the games get tight in the fourth quarter, you sit Jada for 2 minutes. If that's from the 6-minute mark to the 4-minute mark, bring him back in, whatever. Sit him for those couple of minutes. Let's make a run, bring him back in to close out the game. But we make a run with him on the bench. But you play him the whole fourth quarter because you're trying to make him the second guy with SGA in the same amount of minutes. He's not. It's not the same difference as Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. They're not the same guys. It's not Darius Garland and Mitchell. They're not the same. One is here and one is not. That is going to be the difference whether the Thunder win or lose. That's what it's going to come down to, is this coach and his ability to get beyond himself and realize we're trying to win at all costs. If he's not willing to do that, it's not going to happen. And as Stephen A. Smith has said multiple times, Sam Presti is a genius, one of the best front office GMs in the NBA, without question. But with all the talent that you've had, why haven't you won a chip? Now the question is this year, not getting Cam Johnson, is that going to hurt us down the stretch? Not having a veteran coach to tell this guy, hey, we need to make this move, and him not willing to do it. Why did the Celtics, remember, when they lost against the Eric Spoelstra in Miami, what did they do? Went out and got him 2 veteran coaches. They went out and got Porzingis. They went out and got Drew Holiday. What did those things do? Win him a chip. What did the Thunder do? Our biggest problem is inside presence. What did Sam do? Go get Hartenstein. Josh Giddey, and there was some, with J-Dub emerging, Josh Giddey was expendable. You'll get Josh Giddey, you get one of the best defenders in the league in Caruso. Of the top 5 guys who are defenders to get their hands on the ball, we have 4 of them. Of the top 5 in the league. 3 of them. That's Caruso, Kaysen, and Dort. And I'll argue the other one is it's got to either be SGA or Wiggins. So he made the moves, but now with the coaching staff, he is so set on this guy and developing J-Dub. Bro, we ain't in developmental mode anymore. We're in win mode. You as a coach have to rethink how you think. And like last night, I know you have it in you because you put SGA in there with 8 minutes to go last night when you felt the run coming. You put him in there, so I know you know what the hell you're doing, but you're so set on whether that's Sam Presti telling you to do that or you just unwilling to do it. It's one or the other. But you have got to understand, and there's no way in hell you don't know who your best 5 is when it's to start to make a run to separate us from the other team. That's SGA, Kaysen, Caruso, Dort or Wiggins, and either iHeart or Chet. That's when you make your run with J-Dub on the bench. You don't make your run with SGA on the bench. You're plus 15, 16 with SG on the floor, and you're minus 3, and you sit him out. If you're trying to win, coach, that's the secret. That's the secret. So tonight, once again, we have a huge back-to-back game against the Minnesota Timberwolves here. Chet is not playing because he's not playing back-to-backs. Remember, he's only played 4 games. So once again, we won't be full strength, and we're 2-0 full strength. And remember, out of the 28 games we have remaining after the All-Star break, and we talked about this, we're 2-0 right now. So when you got the next 6 games coming up, which are going to matter, and what happens is it's going to matter. Here are the next 10 games, 6 games. T-Wolves tonight. That should be a win because you got to be able to protect home court. Number 2, you have the Nets on Wednesday. Okay? So something's wrong with Randy, the commander. Says, but Presti traded water. Something's wrong with you, Randy. You know that something is really wrong with you. Anyway, this is what we got coming up, guys. This is what's going to matter, okay? This is what's going to matter. You've got to win the games that beat the teams you're supposed to beat. That's important, number 1. That's the Nets. You go into the Hawks. That's another win you got to win. At the Spurs without Wemby, you gotta give them payback for losing that game. So you gotta do that. So of these next 6 games, you have to go. You need to go 5-1, if not 6-0, because are they all winnable? Yes. The T-Wolves tonight protect home court. The Rockets at home protect home court, so that should be 2 W's. At the Nets, we're better than them. We should beat them. At the Hawks, we're better than them. We should beat them. At the Spurs, we're better than them. We should beat them. The Grizzlies, on the other hand, we beat the brakes off them the last time we played them in Memphis. So you know some payback is going to be there when it comes to that. Okay? You know there's going to be some payback. So that's going to be the question. But like I said, once again, is Stephen A. right about Sam Presti? Is he more interested in having the Thunder relevant every year, or is he interested in winning a chip? Now, as we've talked about, I think winning a championship to Oklahoma City, because remember, Seattle Supersonics already have their chip. They won a championship. We didn't get to bring that banner here because that's not the Oklahoma City Thunder. That was the Seattle Supersonics. They have a chip. What would that mean to this city? What would that mean to Sam Presti's legacy? Because remember, in the NBA, you have a 4 or 5 year window that you really dominate. The Celtics window is kind of closing a little bit. They made the changes they needed to make by Porzingis and Drew Holiday and getting rid of Marcus Smart. They made the changes they need to make. They added the veteran coaches to the coaching staff to help their coach. So you have a 4 or 5 year window. This is year 2 of our window. I want to count last year, but some people don't. So I'll give you I'm agree with you. Okay, this is year 1 of our window. Even though I think year 2, I think we should have went to the finals last year. But what's happened is this. Number 1, SJ is more savvy. Number 2, he's more hungry. Number 3, all of our others, as they call them, are ready to play, are ready for the playoffs and what that matters. That's J-Dub. That's Caruso. He's already a veteran. That's Kaysen, I'm sorry. That's Wiggins. That's Chet. Ihart's already been in the playoffs, so he's a veteran. So Ihart, Caruso, and SGA are all ready. And I do believe that J-Dub is going to be ready. I believe Kaysen's going to be ready because now it's year number 2, so he knows what to expect. I think Isaiah Joe is going to be better, and Wiggins should be better because he's a better player than he was. So we are set to make a run. The question is, what's going to happen with the Thunder? What are they going to do? That's the $1 million question, and I think we'll be fine. So anyway, I'm looking forward to tonight. And Commander, I'm looking forward to your take because, like I said, I like what he says, except when he talks about Waters. Now, where's he at again? Is he still with the Warriors, or did he get traded? I can't remember who he's with. And I like Lindy, and I know Randy's just making fun of me because that's what the commander, that's what he does. He makes fun of me. So, but anyway, hopefully tonight we're going to be going to the game so I can kind of get his insight because remember, Chet is not playing and how that's going to affect us in our rotations. Jay will be playing. So once again, fans, give Jay Will some support because it's important that he makes his threes. Because if he's making threes, it's going to make it a lot easier on us as a group. Okay? It's going to make it a lot easier on the group. What is he saying now? See, this man doesn't get on YouTube. He sends me text messages. Oh, he's with the Pistons? Well, he definitely ain't playing then. Well, he's back there with Cade, so that does help. But, whatever. But anyway, talking about Lindy Waters. I like Lindy, and he just tortures me with Lindy because I made fun of him. But I do like Lindy, but he's just not to be an NBA player. So, but anyway, tonight, 7 o'clock, Thunder, the Grizzlies coming to, not the Grizzlies, but the T-Wolves coming to Thunderdome without Chet. Remember, Chet does not play back-to-back. And this is our third game of our last 28. And once again, I think we need to make a statement here. And then you go out and you bust the people you need to bust and you win your home games because you have to win at home. You have to take care of home court advantage. That matters nonstop on how it works. So everybody have a fantastic day out there. I've got to go beat up these kids and train these kids on playing basketball. And by the way, let me give a shout out right now to one of my kids. I got this kid in the 6th grade. He couldn't catch the ball. He couldn't dribble. My other players didn't want to pass the ball. They're like, Coach, he can't catch the ball. I go, guys, you have to give him confidence. If you don't pass it to him, he already thinks he sucks. And so if you don't pass it to him and if he messes up, pat him on the butt and say it's okay to build up his confidence. This kid comes to me 3 or 4 years ago, going into the 9th grade and says, Coach Matt, can you help me? I want to be this. I said, okay, I'll tell you what, this is what we're going to do. All we want you to do is make the freshman team. You're probably not going to play a lot, but we're going to stick to this plan. Your sophomore year, we're going to have it to where you're going to be on the sophomore team or you're going to be on JV. When you come your junior year, you're going to be playing on JV and then possibly starting but getting a spot on varsity. And then your senior year, you will make varsity. This kid that I'm talking about got a scholarship at a JUCO, small college. And this kid now, okay, is playing and about to start and playing starter minutes. That's this kid. And I'm so proud of him and what he's doing and what he has been doing. Okay? Proud of this guy. So, anyway, that being said, hey, everybody have a fantastic day. John says, and remember, cheer loudly for the white jersey free throw shooter. I'm not cheering for the guy in white, John. You know I'm cheering for the guy in blue. We know who's cheering for the dude in white. We already know who that is. And blue will survive. Blue will win just like we did the last game and the game before that. Now, the commander was not there those games. So, when I sent him pictures, and I even had, people were sitting with us sending pictures so we didn't hear no mess about how somebody's trying to cheat him because he and I always say that, we think that our player won and we always say that the other players won. So you have to send a picture to prove that your player won. So that being said, hey, everybody have a fantastic day. Enjoy this warm weather. It's nice not being -6, isn't it? Have a great one.